All right, everybody. So fantastic video today. I'm going to get the Subi Gears 5-speed and the WRX motor installed in, well, that baby right there. You can already see kind of installed. Y'all can't look. Anyway, a lot of fab work. Also taking a joyride in this baby here. This is my 1970 BMW 2002. I've got a 13B bridge ported rotary. And you see that baby right there? That is my Laguna Seca Blue 2008 E91. If y'all remember, I used to have a 03 WRX wagon that got totaled on the tollway the other day. Lady rear-ended me doing like 60 miles an hour. I was sitting still, snapped the shit out of my neck. So I'm getting that taken care of. But anyway, that car, guys, woo-wee, it is a beauty. Guy I bought it from spent a lot of money getting it set up. It's got the exact look I want. I've done an exhaust, a little bit with the wheels. It had the wood grain, you know, that stuff was all wood grain. I did it all in carbon fiber wrap. It turned out beautiful. But also check this crap out, man. So you see that right there? You see that? That's an addition to my back of my neighbor's house. Well, my neighbor's got teenage boys, and I got a good-looking fiance, and I got daughters, and they swim in that pool, and them teenage boys can see them, and boy, you better watch it. Yeah, not really heavy, it's just a little bulky. You can already see it's gonna hit this member off the bat, and it looks like it's probably gonna hit this. It looks like it's probably gonna hit this right here too. So I can already tell I'm gonna have to cut this out. I'm gonna have to go up probably about 4 inches. I'm just getting this measurement, guys, so I can fabricate a piece. I'm gonna make a pretty arched piece that goes from here over like that. So based on my calculations, if I bring it up 4 inches, it should clear everything just fine. Let me see one more thing. If I do it kind of at a weird angle, get this back a little bit further. Yeah, it's gonna have to be at least 4 inches up. So that's what I needed. I'm gonna have to pull this. I'm gonna have to pull this thing off too, because it's gonna hit. So it looks like I won't be able to. I might have to fabricate my own. It doesn't look like I'll be able to use it. This is the fun of when you buy stuff and you want to modify everything because you're going with something not standard. This is kind of what you go through, but for me, this is the fun part. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a cardboard template. I'm going to make an arched piece that goes from here to here. I just want an arch. I don't know why. It just seems like it'd be easier to manufacture. So I'm going to make an arch for this real quick. I'll show you the cardboard template, then I'll cut it out and get it welded on. So I'm going to go up about 4 inches, which is really all I need to go up, because I'm coming in based on, if you see this right here, the output flange, it's actually running about right here. So based on this is about where it's going to be going in there. So I've got plenty of room width-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and get that, start getting that put together. Alrighty, so here's the cardboard template I made. I know this looks kind of silly, but it's going to go about like this. Right here. It's going to be a little bit taller. I'm going to give it some extra space. I better be, you know, I want at least 4 more inches right here. Let me see how much I actually need there. Alrighty, so what I decided to do I drew this up on metal instead. This is kind of going to be like this, and this. If you're wondering where I get this metal, this is, I guess about 3/16. I got this piece and that one right there at, I think it's called like Metal Super Center or something, but I paid 13 bucks for it. They have a scrap bin where, you know, if they have to cut pieces and they have leftovers. Most of the time I can pick up stuff on the scrap bin unless I need a big piece. And it's like 50% off, so it saves a lot of money that way. So anyway, let me get this cut out. I'm gonna make another one, get them cut out, then I'm gonna tack them onto that. All right, guys, so here's one I got cut out. It's gonna go just like this right here. I'll measure, kind of weld it where I want, kind of get it tacked up. It's gonna go there. I'm gonna make one for the other side, then we're gonna cap it all off, and then I'm gonna cut that section out afterwards. So I wanna get all this put on first, and then I'll cut it out. All right, I got two of these made up. I'm gonna clean them up with a sander, then clean that up, the frame up with a sander, and tack them on. Guys, I have missed. Every time I try to get this at the trash, bam, missed again. Now we gotta figure out how to get these on their square. So what I want about 4 inches of clearance right here in this section here. So let me, how's my tape measure at? Let me get my tape measure and see about where I'm at. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 inches. In fact, it could probably only be about 2. I'd rather give more room than less. So let's look at what 4 inches looks like. Oh, that's way up there. Okay, about right there. That's about how it goes. Like so. I'm gonna get my my welder. And if y'all asking if I'm gonna measure, no. I mean, this is so easy to eyeball. I'm gonna go ahead and just tack this, and then get the other one on the other side and tack it up too, and make sure everything's straight. And then I'm gonna cut the pieces, go along the back, and then I'll cut this off. I can probably cut it here, and then at that angle. So let me get my welder set up. All right, so what I did is I had some 2 by angle. I just cut a 2-inch, I cut a strip out of it, and so I've got these strips right here. Let me show you. Ooh, stay right there. I got these strips right here, and I'm gonna weld them on like so. Weld this one on over here. They're exactly the right length. I got lucky. I measured 10 inches. I'm gonna tack these on, so they're gonna sit just like that. And this I'm gonna tack on like that. Then we'll cut the top piece, then we'll weld it all up, and then we'll cut that section out. Let me clean these up. There you are. All right, let's get this tacked in. That's tacked in. Let me get this other guy tacked in real quick. Get it lined up as best I can. All right, so I got those tacked. That's tacked on. That's tacked on. Let me tighten that up. That's tacked on. I'm just going to make this plate right here, cover it. I'm not filling the bottom. These are empty. It's not that much stuff is going on there, but this is probably stronger than what it originally was anyway. So let me cut this piece, tack it, then we'll weld it all up. Okay, let me give you all an idea of what I've done. I went ahead and left a little bit of a lip on there, just to, you know, if I got enough room there, there's no reason to clean it. But anyway, this is what it looks like. I haven't painted it yet. Welds are nice and good. Clean welds. I'm sure someone will find a flaw, but that's cool with me. Got that there. I'm gonna hit it with some, well, I'm gonna see if the transmission fits first, then I'll hit it with some paint. Okay guys, let's see how this baby is gonna fit. It should fit much better. Did all that work cutting, whoops. Sorry, can y'all see me okay? Did all that cutting, I built this. Let's see how that's gonna fit in there. Hey, it's gonna fit. This goes in there. Rah! Oops. Hang on, knock something off. What was that? Oh, just a piece of metal. Let me go back forward with this. All right, you're gonna fight me, huh? All right, well, two can play at that game. Pardon my leg. All right. That's kind of not close. Don't get me wrong, got plenty of room. It fits. I'm just hitting on everything. I'm thinking I must not have clearance this back here enough. Here you go. Okay, so it's kind of sitting in there. I'm obviously going to have to clearance some more stuff. My axles are not lined up. But they will be once I get everything done. So let me kind of give an idea of what it looks like. This is just kind of sitting there, it's not mounted. See, it's all just kind of sitting. So I'm still not exactly sure how far back it goes. If you look at that is not lined up with that. It's kind of at an angle, so I think this whole transmission has got to slide back some more. So I'm gonna have to make a hole bigger right in there with that whole piece to come through. I've got a adapter coming for this. I could have made one, but I feel like jacking with it. So that's coming. So I think what I need to do is clearance that stuff out, slide this transmission back some more. These are the motor mounts, so once I put the motor on here, they should, everything should line up. What I did, I went ahead and cut that out some more. You're probably thinking, oh my God, no, this is real thin metal, it's not structural. This is structural, but I'm gonna go ahead after I get everything mounted, I'm gonna put another plate across there just to be safe, so don't think I'm leaving it this way, but let me see how everything fits now. Well, I'm beat. I'm gonna call it a night. Check this out. I got it kind of sitting there. I don't think it's mounted properly. Well, it's not even mounted, it's just kind of sitting in there. But the CV is gonna interfere with this right here. You know, it might be okay once I get everything on. But obviously I got a lot of work to do to get this figured out. And I've got to figure out the rear transmission mount. It's a very mysterious piece that came with no instructions. So maybe figuring that out is gonna help me position this thing and understand how everything works. All right guys, this is kind of lined up how it's supposed to go. You know, obviously it's sitting on there right now. The motor's gonna keep it off. See where it's hitting right now? The motor's gonna keep it off of that. It looks like my stub axles will line up okay. I might have to clearance some right here, so I might have to notch this and weld it. I don't know yet. There's also a transmission mount I've got to put in back. So the few things left to do. But so far, man, I'm really happy. That was a big moment getting this this big old 5-speed in there. I got a lot of room there, guys. I did it way too much, way more than I needed to. But I can always, you know, weld a piece of strap across there lower, then cut the top off and weld the cap on it if I want. I'm not sure if I want to do that or just leave it the heck alone. It depends on how it protrudes in the car, but to be honest, I'd rather have more space than less. So for now, I'm just going to leave that alone unless it needs to be lowered down some. I got this at Harbor Freight. I always used to rent engine hoists, and then I decided to just buy one. And man, have I used this thing. I have used the crap out of this thing, like probably a lot more than I want to. Because if you're pulling a motor, typically either something's going good or something's going bad. But let me get over here and on this EJ, I'm gonna hook up. These things are surprisingly strong. In fact, the JDM ones with the plastic intake, I wonder if that's gonna hold. They just hook up right around the intake and pick it up. I'm gonna go off of right here and right here. That gives it a nice straight shot. And a lot of y'all might be thinking it won't be strong enough. Yeah, it will. You know, you've seen when you have an LS motor, they'll pick it up by like an aluminum intake. And that's a heavy motor. And they'll have that on the aluminum intake. Well, when the carburetor bolts up, it's got 4 bolt holes. And it'll pick it up right from there. So this weighs a lot less. We'll see. Hopefully this thing won't go crashing to the floor. If it does, I'll cry like a baby and then figure out a new plan, but that shouldn't happen. All right, there you go. So guys, wish me luck. I got a little bit of weight on it, and then I'm gonna do these. Oh, you know what I gotta do first? First thing I gotta do is roll this over and put the motor mounts on. No, there's no oil in it. No water. But I need to put the motor mounts on. Well, I got the motor mounts kind of set on. They're loose right now because this washer's in the way. So once I flip this over, yes, I got one CAD plated, I don't care. Once I get this flipped over, back over, then I can loosen the motor up off of here, and then I can tighten those back up. Let's go back around, wrong direction. These are seals for 13B. We can get them off of here. This will cost a lot of money. Well, they can. But they're worthless if you don't use them. Okay, so let me get some weight off of this motor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some weight off it. I'm gonna unbolt it off of the engine stand. Then I'm gonna pull the transmission out of the car, put the flywheel on this, and then try to get everything put together. What I'm gonna do is get this off the engine stand. There you go. Pop that off. Y'all can see what I'm talking about right here. I'm gonna take these off, put the flywheel on. So far those are holding like I knew they would. But you never know, right? Okay, that's gonna fit good. Let me go get the clutch now. Just wanna make sure that's gonna fit okay first. So I got an Exody Stage 1 clutch for the car. That's gonna be all it needs. It's got, so what you gotta remember, this car doesn't weigh a lot. And the reason that's important, well, not important, but the reason that matters is because the reason that's important is it's not going to have as much the reason that matters is it's not going to have as much resistance because the car is only, you know, 1,800 pounds, and this comes out of a 3,200 pound car. So the Stage 1 is good for 3,200 pounds. It's going to be just fine for 1,800. It's going to be an absolute ripper. Now, I gotta find bolts for the clutch. Let me see what size these are. I need to get hardened bolts, I think. I don't know if I need hardened bolts, but is this the size? Yeah, this is the size bolts. Right here. May have to run the hardware store. So I want to get lock washers with them. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see if they put any hardware in here. I don't think they did. Well, they did, but not for the clutch bolts, so I guess they assumed I would have those. And I didn't think to ask for any. Because I got this motor kind of already taken apart. Yeah, if I don't have it. The part that's going to be interesting for me is this throwout bearing, how to get it going. So let me run to the hardware store and get some bolts. Found my blue Loctite. So let me get these bolts started by hand. I got grade 8 bolts with lock washers. I looked online when I was there. I wasn't sure because some clutches will have lock washers, some don't. And so I looked, and it's what was recommended on the Subaru site. I know this isn't a Subaru clutch, but they use the Subaru, when you buy one of these clutches, you use the Subaru hardware, which is, let's see if I can get that on there. The Subaru hardware, which is grade 8 with lock washers, so that's what we get. You hear the kids next door swimming. Beautiful day, it's 80 something degrees out. Wish Rebecca had to work today. If she was here, I'd be in the pool with her. Wouldn't be in this garage, that's for sure. But she had to work today, so. All right, let me kind of get these down. go kind of cross to get them lined up on these. They got the little dowel pins, the alignment pins on these, which I'm sure most do, most clutches. So anyway, before we go on a drive, a few things I got to do to this car. Those look like big, great, you know, fans. They're 12-inch. I bought the cheap ones off, I think, eBay for like 39 bucks for two 12-inch fans. Well, they don't keep it cool. It runs cool and fine on the highway, but when I stop at red lights, right now it's like 70 out, so it's okay. But when it gets 100, it starts slowly creeping up. They're just not moving enough air. These were rated at a 1 CFM. I know they're not. So I'm going to put probably two really good, nice 10-inch fans and build a new shroud. So that's coming. Also, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the exhaust. So let me show you. The exhaust, it looks like it sits kind of low. I can hardly get my foot in between it right there. Y'all can see how kind of low it is. And I can't really go up any much more because I'm almost touching the floor. The issue I'm having is I've got a carbon fiber drive shaft. And so with the carbon fiber drive shaft, they're sensitive to heat. And these rotaries put out a lot of heat. And I had the exhaust going, more toward the inside the drive shaft tunnel, but I could already tell the back of the shaft was getting a little bit of heat effect on it, so I was like, I'm not doing that. So right now it's just sitting kind of low. We did some cool stuff. My buddy Tim did some really cool stuff back here. Rotaries are also very loud. And so what he did is put together this system, and that is not as low as it looks. That's actually pretty high up. But you can see it's got double mufflers. Well, it's actually not double. So you can see it's not too low, I guess, but it's still low. On speed bumps, I'm probably going to hit it. But anyways, that's what we did there. So it's nice. It's not quiet, but it's very tolerable. But I just don't know. It feels low. Let me show you what I did. I don't know if I can even find it here. Let's see here. You see this oval tube there? That's oval tube for 2.5 inch. We put that on there for clearance, and it rang like a freaking bell. It was the weirdest ringing, high pitched, like someone was hitting a hammer on a metal fence pole. The way the pulses were going through it, it was just ringing like crazy. So I'm like, I'm taking that off. So I put just regular 2.5 inch round back on. So I'm thinking about doing, which I don't want to do, is I may end up having to make a hump in the tunnel. I'm sorry, on the floorboard, on the passenger side, and somehow going through there to get it. But I just don't know. So I'm going to leave it alone for right now. Let me show you the trunk real quick. Got a fuel cell. What's corroded? I need to clean that up. And there's my cow spare tire cover. This is my fuel cell. That's my premix. So all my stuff that runs great. Let me get this thing cranked up real quick, and you can kind of hear what it looks like. And it's probably going to smoke some, and it stinks. And my neighbors will probably get pissed off. No, they won't. But it just doesn't smell nice, and I don't want to ruin their Sunday morning. See? I don't know if y'all can see that. It's not a lot. It may just be some condensation. Man, I actually kind of quit doing it, so maybe I'm okay. That seems fine. It's doing it a little bit, but not much. Yesterday it was doing it a ton. So yesterday it was smoking a lot. So my buddy Chris Green has a saying, drive the piss out of it. So I took it out and did some 9,000 RPM full load, and it quit smoking the motor. That's my cold air intake box of a cold air box. Works pretty good, allows us to move. It's been a great motor. Got a lot of power. I don't know if y'all can see that. Y'all see that smoke billowing up? It just stinks. It smells rich. And it puts out a lot of condensation when you first start it. And I don't know, like I said, if there's a slight leak, and that's a little bit of water mixing in with the burn. But anyway, we'll figure that out. But let me get this thing locked up and we'll go for a ride. It's a zippy car, that's for sure. It gets up and moves pretty good for what it is. I don't know my 0 to 60, but I'm sure it's probably less than 5. It gets going really quick. Surprising, this 13B is a Bridgeport. Man, it's got some good torque. You know, normally these are pretty torquey motors, but I can even catch rubber in 3rd gear, so it's got some guts to it. Guys, let's see if I do a quick little sprint here, let them get ahead. Make sure you get it on there straight. And then we're gonna lower this motor down. And get the transmission on it. I'm gonna hit these with the impact. Oh, I don't want to turn the motor too much. Trying to keep it on top dead center. Impact. Oh wait, I gotta pull these these hubs out. That's the other thing I might have a problem with is, well, I might have to take this out a couple times, is I think my stub axles may end up hitting the frame. I don't know for sure, and I don't want to raw. Well, they are threaded. Come on. Come on, you fucker. Do up some more. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put here's some. bolt started. That's a good thing. I mean, it's just gonna go together. Then I got a clearance. Then I gotta, after I get this in, oh hey. All right, getting that together. I've got the clearance right here and right here for the ears on the back of the transmission. And I need to cut that hole out bigger before I put all this in. So let me go ahead and get this bolt finished tightening up. I'm gonna get these two tightened up and then we should be good to go. No, I didn't I didn't put any grease on the end of the input shaft for the transmission yet. I will. I've got to take this back apart, obviously, because this isn't bolted all the way together yet. What's binding up? What's hitting over here? Wonder why it's not. Let me see if this will kind of draw it in. Yeah, it's pulling it in. Just kind of wedged. Just closing it up. One thing I forgot to do is tighten up the, man, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot in here. I forgot to tighten up the motor mount bolts, which I'll do real quick. And also, this engine's gonna, obviously it's gonna be hanging heavy on the back, which I kind of wanted because it's gonna be easier to get the transmission in. Well, I hope so anyway. I guess we'll see with that as well. All right. Ooh, man. That smoked me. That got hot. See how it's back heavy? But I kind of wanted that. I wanted it back heavy so I can pick up like this and then guide it into the car without having to pick the whole thing up. So that works out pretty well. I just need to get under there and tighten up these engine mounts, engine mount bolts, which I'm sure, yeah, they're bigger than, and they're 17 millimeter. You know, let me get some air on it. That'll save me a bunch of time jacking with it. Wasn't that size? 14? Yeah, we did 14. All right. 14 right there. All right, let me get the other ones tightened up. There's 17 also. Man, got a mix of stuff on here, don't I? No, that's not 17. 15. That'd be a weird size, wouldn't it? Yep, it's a 15. I'd be damned. The hell is that about? All right. Motor mounts are in. Now let me come over here. I don't know where the hell I put my fork. I'm going to go here. I'm going to cut this stuff out, make it nice and kind of pretty. Then I'm going to clearance a few things. So y'all put on your safety goggles. I can't sit it down all the way, and I really don't need to. I just need to get low enough to get the yeah, that'll kind of hold right there, I think. Now I can try to get this transmission on, but first I got to figure out how to. Okay, where the hell did the clutch fork go? Oh great, don't tell me I lost it. Guys, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to wait. I'm putting the need to set this down some more. I'm going to wait on putting that clutch fork in. I need to get this, I want to get this thing lined up a little bit better. But also I need to understand how it works. And I don't want to, I think on this motor, the pressure plate kind of, or the clutch kind of, let me go up a little bit. Well, they are threaded. Come on. Come on, you fucker. Go up some more. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put here's some. All right, got 2 bolts started. That's a good thing. Means it's going to go together. Then I got a clearance. Then I got a, after I get this in, oh hey. All right, getting that together. I've got the clearance right here and right here for the ears on back of the transmission. And I need to cut that hole out bigger before I put all this in. So let me go ahead and get this bolt finished tightening up. We're going to get these 2 tightened up. And then we should be good to go. No, I didn't I didn't put any grease on the end of the input shaft for the transmission yet. I will. I've got to take this back apart, obviously, because this isn't bolted all the way together yet. What's binding up? What's hitting over here? Wonder why it's not. Let me see if this will kind of draw it in. Yeah, it's pulling it in. Just kind of wedged. Just closing it up. One thing I forgot to do is tighten up the, man, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot in here. I forgot to tighten up the motor mount bolts, which I'll do real quick. And also, this engine's gonna, obviously it's gonna be hanging heavy on the back, which I kind of wanted because it's gonna be easier to get the transmission in. Well, I hope so anyway. I guess we'll see with that as well. All right. Ooh, man. That smoked me. That got hot. See how it's back heavy? But I kind of wanted that. I wanted it back heavy so I can pick up like this and then guide it into the car without having to pick the whole thing up. So that works out pretty well. I just need to get under there and tighten up these engine mounts, engine mount bolts, which I'm sure, yeah, they're bigger than, and they're 17 millimeter. You know, let me get some air on it. That'll save me a bunch of time jacking with it. Wasn't that size? 14? Yeah, we did 14. All right. 14 right there. All right, let me get the other ones tightened up. There's 17 also. Man, got a mix of stuff on here, don't I? That's not 17. What the hell? 14. Huh. Is it a 15? That'd be a weird size, wouldn't it? Yep, it's a 15. That'd be damn. The hell is that about? All right. Motor mounts are in. Now let me come over here. I don't know where the hell I put my fork. I'm going to here. I'm going to cut this stuff out. Make it nice and kind of pretty. Then I'm going to clearance a few things. So y'all put on your safety goggles. It's in. Alright guys, whew, that's in. Not in for good, it's in for now. But, okay, I've got that done. I've got the motor on, let me show you. See the motor mount? It's in. So everything's lined up okay. This is lined up pretty good. Everything looks positioned properly. What I'm gonna do now is clean up the floor, obviously. Then start working on this transmission mount back here. I've got to get underneath and position it. It goes in through these here and through that one. They get that mounted. Isn't that nice to nick that wire? Otherwise, it's pretty damn good. Guys, what I think I'm gonna do is cut these, sorry guys, what I think I'm gonna do is cut these ends off here so that these go in further, and then I may end up welding. I may just weld this mount to the iMore. There's no reason for it not to be welded on. It's not like I need to remove it, but I'll probably, just to be safe, I'll probably just tack it for now. So let me cut these down and see, man, just see how all that works out, and then kind of go from there. All right, guys, so let me show you what I did. Here's the mount. You can see I cut the ends off. That's the ends right there that were on it. Too bad, so sad. Let's see how this is gonna fit in here. I had to notch it a little bit. Hang on. My camera. All right, I don't know how. how well y'all can see. I'll get my damn fingers out the way. So, it's still hitting. You see right there? I don't know if y'all can see. I still got, oh, right there. I still got to go up about a eighth of an inch. What's it hitting on? It's hitting on the, it's hitting on these beams right here. I could probably come down with the transmission a little, but here's the problem. If I do, the stub axles will hit the frame, and I don't want that to happen. So let me notch these. Let me mark them real quick. The whole reason I'm doing, y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm putting this back on here, and I'm going to mark it where it's hitting the frame horn right there. And right there. I need to go up a good 1/4 of an inch or so. And that's the only way I can do it. I'm also going to have to clean up right here a little bit, because it's in the way. Man, not much modding needed, right? All right, let me show you what I'm doing. I went ahead and you can see where I clearanced everything. Man, is this thing dirty? All right, guys, y'all can see where I kind of clearanced everything. I'm going to tack weld it right there and right there. So I've got this positioned where I want. You see I had to really get it after with the grinder to clean, or the sander to clean everything out. I'm going to go ahead and tack it on the front and back just to hold it in place, let the jack down and see if anything moves. It shouldn't, and that'll keep my clearance so my stub axles don't rub on that iMore frame. So this is a lot of modifying. All right, so this is how we're looking. Got the transmission cross member welded in. I'm glad I did that. There's really no reason for it not to be welded on this. I can understand on the other one. But got all this done. Man, that was a lot of work. Let me show you. Let me show you underneath. You can see where I tack welded it there. I tacked it there. And I'll end up welding it all the way around once I get everything done. But this thing is nice and solid. Man, not going anywhere. I'm really happy with it. They did a great job on this. And the way they designed it, it made it very easy for me to modify. If you don't know how to weld, you might not want to do this. But luckily I know how to weld. So anyway, got a lot done. Got the motor in. Transmission in. Very, very satisfied with what I got done today. Very satisfied. Good job, Nick. The other thing I'm going to have to figure out is the exhaust. I want to leave the header, I want to leave the turbo in the original position. Not a lot of space here. So I think I'm going to have this downpipe come around, make it a 90, and then go down, and then have a muffler going across maybe. I don't know. Or we could have it come up and over and then down on that side. That would be a lot longer. I think I've got room right here, and if it intrudes into the car some, I can box it. So I think I could make a 90, go down, then have a single outlet, and it would sound absolutely mean as hell. I could actually have the muffler, well, there's not much room there. I could actually put the muffler right here. No, not underneath. Guys, I don't know. What I could do is, well, my intercooler is going to be right here. and I don't want to have a muffler that's hot on it. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Lots to do, but lots of fun stuff. Oh, you know what I could do? I could have a pipe come around right here and have like a muffler in the wheel well right here pointing down. I saw a car like that had a muffler on each side. I'm only gonna put one on this. But anyway, that's stuff for later. I was all excited thinking I won't have to pull the motor again, and I forgot. I didn't put in my clutch fork. So I gotta pull the motor, which is actually kind of easy. It's just 4 bolts. Pull the transmission off, put the clutch fork on, put it all back together, stick the motor in, and then I'm hoping that'll be the last time I have to do it. And then I can start working on getting this exhaust. I gotta order axles, but I'm thinking about on this exhaust, guys, going around and down here. It's gonna be, well, I mean, I've got a little room here, so I can actually kind of go this way then down. The body's, I don't know where the body's gonna hit, but if I have to section some of the body off inside and box it, that's what I'm gonna do. I've got a pipe for it already right there. So all I gotta do is, well, hell, that ain't gonna work. It's gonna hit, well, I'm probably gonna have to cut this thing off flush and then weld it. That's gonna be a whooping. See how that's shaped? It's a bell mouth, and that is shaped kind of funky. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. I might can cut off, well, that's cast. I'm not gonna be able to weld that. Guys, that's gonna be a beating. I've got to figure out what I wanna do on this damn exhaust. I might have to just buy a flange, exhaust flange, or turbo, the exhaust flange, just the piece here, and then make my own. So that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. So, more stuff to make.